Hi, my name is Kimberly Cox, and my presentation is about fine and gross motor skills. During the presentation, I'm going to describe what they are, like how they can be improved, and how they fit into the world of early childhood education. For this project, it was broken into the 3 chapters, and so the process of writing that I used for chapter 18. The first thing I did for the chapter 18 technical definition part of this assignment was I looked up the definition of each of the terms on Google, and by doing this, I was able to provide a straightforward definition to people who may not be familiar with these terms, because really, unless you're an educator of any kind, like early childhood or just like a teacher in general, you may not be familiar with these terms. So fine motor skills. Fine motor skills generally refer to the small movements of the hands, wrists, fingers, feet, toes, lips, and tongue. So it's just all the smaller movements, like the picture of the hands, like just anything you do with the fingers. Gross motor skills are the abilities required in order to control the large muscles of the body for walking, running, sitting, crawling, and other activities. So in the picture I have like the little guy running. And so those were just the basic definitions. That was part of the technical definition for chapter 18. Next was the process of writing I used for chapter 19, and for this assignment of the technical description, I looked up ways that you can help improve each one of these skills. And by doing this, I was able to give everyone a clearer understanding of what actually goes into developing these skills over time. So like I said, people may not be familiar with it, so even just the basic definition might not help everyone understand completely, so by going further into detail, it just helps everyone get a better understanding. So some ways to improve the fine motor skills, which again were the smaller movements of like the hands, fingers, feet, tongue, all that. They can be improved by grasping objects, completing puzzles, turning pages, writing or coloring, and cutting with scissors. So grasping objects is just anything like a baby or a toddler picking up an object, especially a smaller, finer object, and especially babies like bringing it up to their mouth. Completing puzzles, taking like the small pieces and trying to fit them in, using your fingers to turn the pieces until they fit. Turning pages, using your hand to grasp the page and turn it over. This kind of goes with grasping objects like writing and coloring. And then the cutting scissors, just opening and closing motion of the hand. Some ways to improve the gross motor skills, which are the bigger movements like the legs and the arms, like walking, crawling, all of that. And they can be improved by playing hopscotch, jumping, skipping, balancing, tossing, and or catching. These may seem kind of like simple, like kids can do it, but it's really important to understand like how they're actually developing, and it's important for them to hit these milestones. Alright, for the next part of the project, it was the process of writing for chapter 20, and for chapter 20, it wanted some sort of instructions or procedures. So I just kind of included how these skills pertain to the early childhood education field, because there's not really instructions. I mean, I described what they are. So I just kind of described what we use them for. And by doing this, I made it clear as to why we actually need to pay attention to these important developmental skills. Okay, so like I said, how these skills pertain to early childhood education. By knowing these skills, we as educators can see how each individual child is developing, and from there we can determine what areas they need help in, and we can give them the right tools to improve. So it's important to know, just to know, I mean, just to know if they're developing at a regular pace. Like every child develops differently, but there are certain paces for the fine and gross motor skills where they should be at each age. And these were my works that I made. Thanks for watching.